Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down James Clear's absolute game changer of a book, Atomic Habits. The whole thing boils down to this one simple but really powerful idea. You don't get huge success from some massive one-time action. Nope, it comes from the tiny, almost invisible improvements you make every single day.
So the book kicks off with this really powerful piece of math. If you get just 1% better at something each day, you barely even notice it. But you do that for a year, you're not just a bit better, you are almost 38 times better. That, right there, is the magic of compounding, but for your life. It's the proof that all those tiny daily steps really do add up to giant leaps.
And that idea leads us to what is, honestly, probably the biggest takeaway from the entire book. We all think about our goals, right? Lose weight, write a book, learn Spanish. But Clear says the goal itself isn't the problem. The thing that actually drives your success or your failure is the system you build to get there. Okay, so systems. What does that even mean? What's the real difference between a goal and a system? Getting this distinction is absolutely crucial, because it totally flips the script on how you think about making progress.
Think about it like this. Your goal is the championship trophy. Your system is what you do at practice every day, what you eat, how you sleep. And here's the kicker. Winners and losers, they often have the exact same goals. The only thing that separates them is the quality of their systems, the stuff they do over and over again, day in and day out.
You know, this next idea explains so much about why we quit. We put in all this work, we're trying so hard, but we don't see results right away. We fall into this valley of disappointment. But Clear has this great analogy about an ice cube. You can heat it from 25 degrees to 26 to 31, and nothing looks different. But here's the thing. That energy isn't gone. It's just being stored up. It's that last 1 degree, from 31 to 32, that unleashes the big change.
Right, so systems are everything. But how do you actually build a good one? Well, this is where the book gets super practical. Clear gives us this incredible blueprint called the 4 Laws of Behavior Change. And the genius of it is that these laws are designed to work with your brain, not against it. Turns out every single habit you have, the good, the bad, all of them, runs on this simple 4-step loop inside your brain. First, there's a trigger, the cue. That sparks a motivation, the craving. That pushes you to do the actual habit, the response, and that delivers some kind of payoff, the reward. The 4 laws, they're just the instruction manual for hacking this loop. All right, law number 1, make it obvious. This one is all about that first step, the cue or the trigger. If you want to build a new habit, the prompt for it has to be so obvious you can't miss it. This isn't about willpower, it's about being the architect of your own world. And he gives us a couple of brilliant ways to do this. First, get crazy specific with an implementation intention. Don't just say, I'll meditate. Say, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. Or even better, use habit stacking. Link your new habit to one you already do, like after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Okay, on to law 2. Make it attractive. This is all about the craving. Look, our brains are wired to chase pleasure and rewards. That's dopamine. So if you want a habit to stick, you've got to make your brain want to do it.
A really cool trick for this is called temptation bundling. You just pair something you want to do with something you need to do. Like, I can only listen to my favorite true crime podcast while I'm on the treadmill. Or you can tap into our deep need to belong by joining a group where your desired habit is just normal.
Law number 3 is a big one. Make it easy. This focuses on the actual action. And let's be honest, our brains are hardwired to be lazy, to take the path of least resistance. So the more steps or friction a habit has, the less likely we are to do it. The secret is to remove that friction. And the best tool for this? The 2-minute rule. This is a game changer. Whatever your new habit is, scale it down so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more? Just read 1 page. The goal isn't to read a book, it's to master the art of just showing up. Because once you start, it's so much easier to keep going. And that brings us to the last piece of the puzzle. Law 4, make it satisfying. Here's the deal. Our brains love immediate gratification. What gets rewarded right away gets repeated. The problem? Good habits, their rewards are way off in the future. Bad habits, their rewards are right now. So what do? We have to basically trick our brains by creating a little immediate win. And the easiest way to do that is with a habit tracker. Just that little feeling of satisfaction you get from putting an X on the calendar, that's the immediate reward your brain is craving. It reinforces the whole loop.
And what's so cool about this whole framework is how elegant it is. Because if you want to break a bad habit, you don't need a whole new playbook. You just flip these 4 laws on their head. You make the bad habit invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. The logic just works perfectly in reverse.
Okay, so we've got the 4 laws, but they all build up to something bigger, something that might just be the most profound idea in the whole book. Because real, lasting change, it's not just about what you do. It's about who you are. It's about your identity.
See, most of us, when we want to change, we start with the outcome, right? I want to lose 20 pounds. But Clear says, start with who you want to become. The goal isn't to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. You see the shift? It moves from a temporary result to a permanent part of who you are.
And this is the heart of it, right here. Every single time you put on your running shoes and head out the door, you are casting a vote for the identity of, I am a runner. One workout won't change your body, sure, but it provides evidence. It reinforces that identity. Your small habits literally build you into the person you want to be.
But okay, let's be real. How do you stay motivated to keep casting those votes day after day? Well, that's where the Goldilocks rule comes in. We stay engaged when we're working on challenges that are just right. Not so easy that we get bored, but not so hard that we get discouraged. It's all about finding that motivational sweet spot.
And this brings us right back to where we started, to that 1% rule. But now it makes so much more sense. These tiny atomic habits, they're a double-edged sword. Getting 1% better doesn't feel like much, but neither does getting 1% worse. Over a year, though, they don't just lead to different results. They lead to completely different destinies. So that leaves us with a final thought. A question for you. Forget the huge, overwhelming goals for a second. Just ask yourself this. What is one tiny, 2-minute action you can take today that casts a vote for the person you truly want to become?